Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Got a good video for you today. It comes from Tucker Carlson today, talking about Europe. And I think there's a lot that Americans can learn from paying attention to what's happening to other countries, and that they're, in a lot of cases, socially ahead of where we are now because they didn't necessarily have the freedom to resist a lot of these political influenced woke ideas that have been pushed through their political systems years before ours. And we're already seeing the effects of these things. We just need to look to our future through their past so that we're not doomed to repeat their past in our future. Makes perfect sense. And it talks a lot about Christianity and how we're attacking that very thing might be why we have the problems in our country today. So let's roll into it.
Why do they hate Hungary so much, everybody else?
It shows that in a democratic way, people can choose a different path. So the society in Hungary, the society is in a lot of ways, much better functioning than Western European societies or maybe than America. Christianity is stronger.
What she's saying, I think, is the truth that a lot of us want to overlook, is that as we've abandoned Christianity or religion, because Christianity really teaches non-denominational, just religion, belief in Christ, believe in God, those foundational principles and the ones that come with it, that abandonment of those principles have created a lot of our problems in our country. Not to say that people need to believe in a God or to believe in religion or go to church or any of those things, but that their foundational principles, aside from the religion, there's right and then there's wrong. And religions teach what's right, and then to oppose those would be to teach what's wrong. And we've seen the direct reflection of those things in our societies, and the opposite is holding true in Hungary, where they're holding strong to their Christian beliefs.
Orban is very open about the Christian roots of Hungary, of protecting that, of protecting the heritage, protecting the culture. You can see it even in the architecture. They tear down old communist buildings and they rebuild it in the 19th century style that used to be there.
So you have to get rid of those symbologies, get rid of those symbols of hate, those opposite symbols of what we should want in our lives, good foundational principles. Religion doesn't teach the wrong things. It doesn't feed you poison. It feeds you a positive foundational principles that will carry on throughout your entire life.
They haven't let the I am pays the world come in and fill it with glass boxes and degrade the population.
Exactly. It shows people you can still strive for something. It inspires you much more to walk around that type of, architecture than it does if you just see horrible concrete building. And it's important for the mind.
So the simple fact that people travel all over the world to visit places like Egypt, to visit places like Rome, to see the architecture alone tells you that what she just said, that people do not want to just stare at these square concrete buildings that are drab drags upon our lives, that we would like to see things that represent more than just the economic drive of the world. As much as there is an economic drive to this world, there is still a balance to not allowing it to consume us and forgetting why we're doing what we're doing.
I think they hate him so much because he shows a successful alternative and people are happy about it. And they can't have that. You can't have just a bastion of freedom and of, a country that protects its cultural heritage, is proud of it, and of a strong Christian sound within Europe. Because what if other people start to think that they've been told lies?
The saddest part is that we as Americans used to be just like this. We used to be very firmly planted in our Christian values. And that abandonment has brought us to the point where we are now, and it's hard to see that we used to be a lot more like that. And Hungary being the place that is now the representation of that Christian freedom, and that Christian freedom allowing for their prosperity and allowing for people to be happier. We as people should start to really see that this has been and will always be about freedom and then people taking it. This fight will never end. It will always go on forever.
They really hate Christianity.
Yes, the most. I think the most. Because I think it's also the strongest antidote to the things that they preach, to globalism and to the sort of the evils of this upside down world that they're trying to tell us.
And Christianity also pushes back a little bit on kind of like market capitalism. Like buying things is not the highest good in Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you have all the money in the world, it does not make you happy. Foundational principles that teach you how to be happy will make you happy. And what we as human beings have been taught to just chase the dollar, dollar, dollar have left us all empty, have left us all just chasing that without any foundational principles to teach our children other than just chase more money. That hasn't worked thus far. It's never worked throughout human history, the chasing of just money. Maybe we should at some point try to help each other along this way. Not saying handouts, I'm saying we all help each other to lift this whole float up together. The rising tide lifts all boats.
Exactly.
And I think that offends them.
Yes, it offends them, and it obviously gives a very clear, also moral outline of what is good and what is evil. And even maybe just this idea that there is something as the truth, that there is something as good and evil, and not everything is relative, or it's just a subjective truth. It's your truth and I have my truth. You know, Christianity obviously doesn't coincide with that. That doesn't work that way.
There isn't your truth, because sometimes what if your truth is to rob a bank? That definitely isn't going to go with the truth of other people. The people at the bank definitely don't believe their truth is for you to rob that bank. There's a lot of differences between your truth and the truth. It is a real world reality that we all live in, regardless of what you think your truth is or what I think my truth is. And Christianity, religion, teaches that there is a one reality that we all live in, but that there is a way this world works, and that your truth doesn't work within that world as a balance with the rest of us. That you should act a certain way within this society, and the rest of us should as well, and that will create a common decency amongst all of us. And we aren't seeing that now. And it's through our abandonment of Christianity and the foundational principles that it teaches. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe button. Thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Later.